Only in their 5th year of business, Impressive Digital transcends the traditional marketing agency model by honing its focus to the performance metrics and insights that matter most to their clients, which include Mitre 10, Victoria Woods, Hotondo Homes and Sydney Tools. And joining us right now in studio is Robert Tadros, the founder and CEO. Welcome to you.
Thank you, Alana. Thanks for having me.
Well, tell us a little bit about your journey. 5 years, and it sounds like you've had incredible growth over that time.
Been one hell of a journey.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, we play quite heavily in the e-commerce and retail space. We're a performance agency, Australia's largest actually, and as crowned by Deloitte last year, and we look for future expansion into global markets.
Tell to us about e-commerce over the last 12 months, because obviously there were people already playing in that space, businesses that had that strategy set up, and then there were obviously businesses that really got a little bit caught out in that space and had to pivot quickly to get that in place.
Yeah.
How's the last 12 months been in particular?
We've seen massive growth, and as you mentioned, some of the clients that we currently look after have seen a huge trajectory over the last 12 months, and especially during COVID. And we were somewhat blessed that we play quite heavily in e-commerce and retail. So we had a lot of tricks up our sleeve to be able to pivot clients very quickly into the e-commerce environment. Yes.
Yeah, and there's a lot of businesses, I think, that are still really struggling with that in terms of looking forward and getting it part of a future plan. What are some tips that you would give to businesses about e-commerce? Where do you see it going?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it all starts with the strategy. Ensure that you've got your strategy right, the right tech stack, ensure you're using the right the core fundamentals of marketing, really understanding the customer and the user journey, and then understanding then where the channels actually play a part in that overall customer journey, because you can spend a lot of money and not make it back.
Yeah, that's right. And I think that's what people are really wanting from digital, isn't it? Is the ROI, they want the stats, everything needs to be measured.
Absolutely right. And then hence we exist as a performance agency, because that's what we focus on.
Yeah.
Our objective is to move marketing from an expense column to an investment or an asset.
Yeah.
So you should be able to quantify the investment very quickly through one of those channels.
Now, you're also obviously a business owner. So how's the last 12 months been for you and sort of leading your team through this time?
It's definitely challenged. A lot of my, I guess, just the way they operate as an individual and as a leader. But it was a really good learning curve for me to be able to deal with different personalities and different behaviours during such a pandemic, right? During such a tough time. So it really developed myself. It developed the team internally as well. And if anything, it actually brought us closer together.
Yeah, which is amazing really when you think about it, because obviously everyone had to pivot from working from home. I mean, you guys obviously doing e-commerce, so potentially you had some flexibility there anyway, but the culture, trying to keep that together when people aren't necessarily together in an office, that's a different kettle of fish again.
Absolutely,
isn't it?
And we've got 70 staff out of our Melbourne office, so to transition that overnight was a challenge in itself. But I am blessed that I am surrounded by amazing talent that we're able to transition very quickly. And almost, make it as smooth, as seamless as possible.
Yeah, amazing. And so, what's the future plans for the business, sort of for the next 5 years?
There's a lot on the roadmap. Global expansion is definitely one of them. We're currently opening up an office in Austin. In fact, we opened the office in Austin, but we had to shut it down during COVID. So that's back on the cards now. And there's some other areas around the world as well where we're starting to understand the customer behaviour and the consumer behaviour to enable us to get into those locations. So global expansion is definitely one of them. And our Melbourne or Australian headquarters will continue to grow and refine our product and service offering as well.
Well, fantastic. And I think before you go, if there was one piece of advice that you would give to business owners from a digital standpoint, sort of for this year to put in place, what would that be?
Be very careful where you spend your dollars.
Yeah, well, everyone is watching every penny, aren't they?
Absolutely.
Robert, congratulations to you and your team for all
much.
the success. Thanks for sharing the story here with us on Ticker.